Journaling has changed my life, and it can change yours too. I remember when I first started journaling. I grew up as an only child, so I learned to hold a lot of stuff in because I didn't really have that many people to talk to outside of my friends at school. And when I would come home, I was a latchkey kid. So my mom, she worked a lot and I'd be home alone. So journaling gave me this outlet where I could pour out all of my feelings, all the things that I was going through, all the thoughts that I was thinking without any judgment, without anyone there to tell me that my spelling was incorrect or I wasn't writing in the right format or whatever. Journaling was something that was freeing, and it was something that was just for me, just for my eyes, just for my healing. And when I first started journaling, I learned for the first time that writing was something that was therapeutic for me. And that was life-changing. I remember my first journal, it was blue, and I would write in it maybe like sporadically every 3 or 4 months, if possible, maybe even less than that, maybe every 6 months. And I would write in this journal. I had this journal from like the age of like 6 or 8 to the age of 14 or 15. And it still has blank pages in it. I have it now, I think. And I was looking back at it, and I realized that every time I would write in the journal, I would say stuff like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to write in this journal in so long. I feel guilty about it. And I felt a lot of guilt because every time I would think to write in my journal, it was something I wanted to do, but it would slip my mind. And the reason that would happen was because I wasn't making time for it. And as I got older, I realized that it's not about whether you want to do something. It's really about making time for that one thing and setting the intention, making time, carving time, making a system, carving time on your calendar to be able to do that thing, right? As we get older, there's so much stuff that we're busy doing that we forget to do half the things we want to do because we're doing the things we need to do. So I had to sit down and I had to make a plan to journal. And I want to present this plan to you because journaling is just like developing a serious relationship. Yes, I said it. Journaling is just like developing a serious relationship. If you want to make a serious relationship or create a serious relationship in your life, you have to really think through what you're going to do to attain that serious relationship, right? And the first step in being able to attain that serious relationship is you have to go out and make a selection, right? You have to choose a person that you want to be in a serious relationship with. And how do you do that? Well, some people like to go search for their match online, right? They do online dating. There's all these apps. Some people are more intentional and they like to go into a certain space, a certain event, and find someone. That could be your church, that could be your bookstore, that could be any sort of event where you go, where you find someone that you have the same interests with. Well, journaling is the same thing. You want to make a selection. You want to find the right journal. You want to find something that catches your eye. Do you remember that movie, Jerry Maguire with Renee Zellweger? And there's a scene where he's trying to apologize to her. And he knocks on her door and he's speaking and trying to apologize for all the things he's done wrong. And she said, stop, you had me at hello. Now I remember that scene, and that's kind of what you want when you're dating, and that's what you want when you find a good journal, right? You want to find a journal that catches your eye but doesn't trigger you or make you feel emotional. It's more of a warm feeling, like a cup of tea, something that's inviting. It's like a best friend. It's someone that you want to spend time with. Personally, I like to find journals at art stores. That's where I like to go, because even though, yes, you can find like awesome bargains online, I like to find journals in art stores because they have such a variety of things. And I want to show you some of my journals. Like, I have this one. I have this. I save my journals. So I have this one. I have a lot of different journals that I've written in the past that I've found in really interesting places because, I want to find the right kind of journal. I want to find one that really creates the mood and invites me to write in it. That's the key. You want to write in it because it attracts you. You're like, yes, I can't wait to have a conversation with her. I can't wait to get into this. That's what you want to feel with your journal. And then after that, after you make your selection, after you find the right journal, you want to be able to then set the mood, right? Like your first date, you want to set the mood for your journal. So what is it that you need on a date? You don't want it to be distracting, right? You don't want it to be too loud, too noisy, too busy, too chaotic, that you can't focus on the conversation with the person on a date, that you can't write, right? So you want to keep that in mind when you're setting the mood for your journal. Is it that you need it to be romantic? Is it that you need to have candles? Is it that you need to, I don't know, have music playing? Whatever it is that you need to set the mood for your journal, that's what you want to create in your house. For me, personally, what I do is I really enjoy sitting at my kitchen table, and I have a ritual. So every morning, what I do is I clear off the kitchen table, right? I make sure I wipe it down and it's a clean space for me. And then I sit down to write. I usually boil water because I like to have hot water to start the day. It helps the energy get flowing. It's just hot water. There's nothing else in it. And I sit for a moment and I think about all the things that I'm grateful for in my life. And then once I do that, I'm able to start writing. I make sure I don't have any music because for me, I like the sound of the morning. I like to watch the sunrise. I look out the window. All of that really inspires me to get writing. So think about the mood that you want to set for your journal writing. What does it look like for you? What does it feel like? Is it that you need a certain chair to feel comfortable? What is it for you? That's what you want to do. And then the next thing you want to do, right? It's the getting to know you phase. When you start dating, people usually want to know what? They want to know what do you want to get out of this, right? They want to know, what are you looking for, right? You want to do the same thing with your journal. You want to start to outline for yourself what your intentions are. Why do you want to start journaling anyway? What's the point of it? If you don't have a point, then you're not really going to start doing it, or you're not going to stay committed to it. So figure out for yourself, what is it that you want to do when you journal? What do you want to get out of it? Set your intentions for yourself, right? That could be anything from, you hope to explore more why you've experienced such trauma and how you can heal from it. Or it can be something like you want to expand your creativity, and journaling will help you to do that. Or it's that you want to become more connected with your emotions, and journaling will help you do that. Whatever it is, whatever inspired you to start journaling, you want to write that down, okay? And so I want to show you something. So let's say this is your journal, right? You've chosen the right journal. You've chosen one that you really enjoy. I made this for you guys. In the inside flap, when you first open up your journal, right, there's usually a blank page. On that blank page, you want to fill in all the intentions that you have for your journal, all the things that you want to do, whether that is a quote that inspires you, or whether that is something that you want to make an affirmation in your life, like I am a millionaire, or I am a writer, I am going to achieve so much from writing in this journal. I'm going to free myself from writing this journal. Whatever affirmations, quotes, whatever you want to achieve, you can write this here. You can draw in it. You can do whatever. This is your journal. Me, I like to write quotes. I like to write affirmations. I like to draw how I want to see myself. I want to draw where I'm going to go. I want to draw things that inspire me, right? And so once you do that, you want to move on to the next part of the date, which is typically, right, when people want to ask you all the questions. They get curious about who you are. They want to know about your past. They want to know where you're going. And that's the part of your journal right here, right? Often when you open your journal, it says like, this journal belongs to, and there's a line, right? So you want to think about not necessarily who you are right at this moment, but who you want to become, right? What you're working towards. If you're working towards, let's say, writing a book, you might say a New York Times best-selling author. Or if you're pregnant and you're going to be a mom, the best mom ever. Or if you are a mom, you write the best mom ever. Or if you want to become a CEO, you write the best CEO ever. Whatever you're working on, you write that here, okay? You bring your truth to light. That's what this is for. You tell the journal who you are. You set your intentions, right? You're building your relationship. Then the next thing you want to do on a date, right? You always want to have questions in the back of in your back pocket, just to keep the conversation flowing, to keep the energy up, to keep the vibe going. And that's what you want to do with your journal too. You want to create conversation starters in your journal so that when you open it up, you know exactly what you're trying to do and what you're going to write about as soon as you start. So for me, I always want to start with gratitude. So on the inside first page of my journal, at the top of the page, I'll probably write the date here, and then I write the word gratitude, because that's how I want to start my day. I always want to start my day with gratitude. I want to write about all the things in my life that I'm happy that I'm doing, that I've learned, that I'm, that I have a space at home to write, that I have water, that I have whatever I have. And the thing I start with is my breath. I always start with my breath because that brings me back to the center. There's so much stuff we can complain about, but if you start with your breath, you start with the fact that you're alive every morning, it gets better from there, right? And there's so much more you can think about that you're thankful for, from your clothing, to your health, to your eyesight, to your teeth. There's so much that we have to be thankful for. And then I don't stop writing on my page of gratitude until I'm totally filling up the page. So I don't put my pen down until I've totally filled up the page, right? That's a key for me. And then on the other side, I always write my manifestations, right? All the things that I want to bring to life, all the things that I want to see happening in my life. That is what I would write on the other side. So anything that I want to bring to fruition. And the trick is I always write it in present tense. I write it as if it's already happening in my life. And I visualize that so that it becomes a reality for me. You create the reality that you want. Remember that. So those are some tips and tools to how to successfully journal write. Journal writing has truly changed my life. It's been something that's been really awesome for me. It's a place where no one is going to judge you, where you can write out all your ideas and truly feel confident in what you're saying. You can also go back and reflect. I showed you guys, like, I have all of my journals from a long time. And the reason I have them is because I like to revisit them. It helps me to remind myself of how far I've come in life, how far I've progressed, and it helps me revisit ideas and make sure I'm still sticking to those things. Or if I'm not, why have I changed those ideas? You can change your life because you can start committing to journal writing. I want you this week, even if you go to the 99-cent store, I challenge you to find a journal that makes you feel comfortable, that attracts you, that makes you feel warm inside, that you feel like, yes, I can't wait to start writing in this journal. I challenge you to find a journal like that this week. And I challenge you to look in your house or a coffee shop or wherever you feel comfortable, place that's not too hard to get to, and find a place where you can comfortably write and a time that you can comfortably write in your journal every single day. And you know what? If you can't start every single day, do Saturday and Sunday. Do days where it's more low-key and light. Try it for those next 2 days, right? Try that. Set your intentions, right? Write out who you are. Write out your conversation starters. What do you want to talk about in your journal? All of that is going to help you to change your life for the better. You can change your life because you can make a commitment to journal writing. And if you want to share your journal writing experience with me, I'm all ears. I'm here. I hope you have a beautiful, amazing day. Remember, you're the only one in control of your life. So make it something special. Thank you for listening and have a beautiful, amazing, wonderful, love-filled day. Thanks for watching.